Okay, so in the shipping world, there's one saying that's absolutely true. Time is money. And you know what costs a ton of time? A full marine engine overhaul. But what if? What if you could slash that time? Well, today we're diving into a really cool, modern approach that's making that happen.
So, if you've ever been involved in fleet maintenance, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The moment you hear engine overhaul, you see a vessel that's just dead in the water. This isn't just some tune-up, right? It's a huge, complicated operation where every single day of downtime hits your bottom line hard.
All right, let's really get into why this is such a massive challenge. Understanding the problem shows you exactly why the old way of doing things was just begging for a complete rethink.
Just picture it for a second. You've got this enormous, super complex engine, and you have to take it apart, piece by tiny piece, right there on the ship. I mean, we're talking about weeks of work. And every single one of those days, that's just lost revenue pouring down the drain. Then comes the fun part, putting it all back together and just hoping, crossing your fingers that no mistakes were made. It's a total logistical nightmare. Seriously.
So what's the alternative? What if you could just skip most of that painstaking on-site assembly? Well, that's exactly the idea behind this short block solution. It's a much smarter way to tackle this whole problem.
The best way to think about it is like a heart transplant for your engine. Instead of a slow, delicate rebuild of the original piece by piece, you're getting a whole new, pre-assembled core that's just ready to go.
So what is a short block, really? Well, it's the absolute core of the engine. We're talking the cylinder block, the liner, the head, all put together and bundled into one single quality-controlled package. This simple change is what makes the entire process so much faster and, honestly, way more reliable.
And this diagram just makes it all click, doesn't it? You can see it right there. The cylinder block, the liners, the head, all one unit. So instead of your crew having to wrestle with all these massive individual components on the ship, the whole thing arrives as a single piece. It's a massive simplification of an incredibly complex job.
And hey, we're not just talking about a bare bones block here. No way. This is a pretty comprehensive package. It's got the liners, the pistons, the camshaft, the gear train, even the oil sump. You're basically getting the entire lower and middle section of the engine all ready to be installed.
Okay, but let's be real. A pre-assembled unit is only as good as its weakest link. So how do you know you can trust it? How can you be sure it's reliable? Well, that's where this intense reconditioning process comes into play.
This is not just a quick spray down and polish. It's a serious 4-step factory-controlled process. First, they start with blasting to get a perfectly prepared surface. Then, and this is crucial, they use crack testing to find any hidden flaws you can't see. After that, literally every single dimension is measured, from A to Z, to make sure it meets the original factory specs. And finally, a brand new protective coating goes on. So what you get is as good as new. And you've even got options, which is great. The standard package gives you that core, the block, crankshaft, and rods. But if you want a true, what they call drop-in solution, the extended version adds the complete cylinder heads. It's all about tailoring it to your vessel-specific needs and, of course, your timeline.
So a faster, more reliable overhaul. That's fantastic. But what does it actually mean for your bottom line? Let's talk about the real-world operational payoff here.
Look, the benefits here are tangible, and they're immediate. A quicker turnaround on the overhaul means a faster return on investment, plain and simple. It comes with class approval, that's the industry's official stamp of quality, plus you get a 6-month warranty and dramatically slashed delivery times. It's about getting peace of mind and getting your ship back in business fast.
But wait, the savings don't actually stop once the overhaul is done. Not even close. Let's look at one of the single biggest operating expenses for any vessel, lubrication oil.
So check out this comparison for a specific engine, the 11K90 MCC, the old-school mechanical lubricator. It burns through about 1 gram of oil for every brake horsepower hour, but the modern Alpha lubricator, just 0.75 grams. I mean, that's a 25% drop in oil consumption right off the bat.
Now, over a full year of operation, that 25% difference becomes absolutely massive. The old system chews through over 464,000 kilograms of oil. The new one, just over 287,000. Just look at the difference on that chart. It is staggering.
And this is the number that really matters, the bottom line. That simple change saves you, wait for it, over $177,000 a year. And that's on one engine. Now that is the kind of number that makes everyone in the room sit up and pay attention.
So the main takeaway here is crystal clear. These modern, modular systems like the short block, they're not just about making maintenance a bit easier. They are about delivering real, significant, and verifiable cost savings, from cutting downtime to slashing your daily operating expenses.
We've seen how this totally transforms the game for these huge marine engines. And it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? What other complex industries could be completely revolutionized by this kind of modular approach? Is this what the future of all heavy industrial maintenance looks like? It's a pretty compelling thought. Thanks for joining me on this one.